Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello Miss Triangkarini, my name is Alma Angelina and my NPM is 2020-12 212. Okay, I want to read this transcription. I'd like to turn now to the object which is the main point of this talk, the helix. This is a fascinating mathematical object which touches many parts of our lives. Movement, natural world, the manufactured world, and our genetic makeup are all connected to the shape of the helix. A helix is a type of three-dimensional curve that goes around a central cylindrical shape in the form of a spiral, like a corkscrew or a spiral staircase. The helix is a very popular shape in the nature because it is very compact. In fact, helices are sometimes defined to as nature's space saver. In architecture too, the helix shape of a spiral staircase is an attractive option in buildings where space is very restricted. The most renowned type of helix is probably the double helices of DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA, made of the helices that curve around each other. A bit like a twisted ladder, DNA contains the genetic information or code that determine the development and functioning of all non-living things. The helix shape is a very efficient way to store a long molecule like DNA in the limited space of a cell. There are different types of helices. Helices can twist clockwise, right-handed, or anti-clockwise, left-handed. And an interesting experiment is to hold a clockwise helix, such as a corkscrew, up to a mirror. The clockwise helix appears to become counterclockwise. We can perceive example of helices in many areas of our world. Spiral staircase, cables, screw, and ropes can be right-handed or left-handed helices. A helix that goes around a cone is called a conical helix. Example of conical helices are screw or the famous spiral frame designed by the architect Frank Lloyd Wright in the Guggenheim Museum in New York. Helices are also prevalent in the natural world. The horns of certain animals, viruses, seashells, and the structure of plants, flowers, and leaves can all contain helices. The human umbilical cord is in fact a triple helix. With the discovery that the helix is the shape of DNA molecule, it is not surprising that the helix is found in so many areas. It's one of the most natural shapes in nature. Let's turn our attention now to the mathematical description of the helix. You'll need a pen, a paper for the next part of the talk, as I'm going to give you some variables to write down. Take your time to notice the difference. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.